Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video, and in this video I'm going to be having a look at set 7141, the Naboo fighter. This came out in 1999, which was the first year of LEGO Star Wars and was therefore the first year of franchise or licensed sets. And of course this was when the Phantom Menace came out, which was certainly a big deal, given that it was the beginning of the prequel trilogies. So this actually has 179 pieces, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video, but let's have a look at the main build. So this is obviously the fighter itself. Now I should mention that it is actually missing a piece, a yellow piece at the back here, one of these long looking pieces that's in yellow. So if you sort of imagine that on the back of it, it looks a lot better, as if it's sort of flying through the air, but as I said, don't have that right now. It's lost in one of the boxes. So we'll just have a look maybe at the bottom first. So it's really just sort of a block piece that it sits on, and a little blue sort of cannon looking thing or laser, and it just sits on that, and that piece does actually come off quite easily, that blue piece. And in fact, maybe I'll just show you. So you just knock it off and it's held in by one of those. So if you pick it up, it's very easy for that to come off, but you can very easily reattach it, and it just sits on that. And yeah, there's not much that actually kind of moves on this. There's no sort of flick fire missiles or spring loaded shooters or anything like that. These parts do come off. These are held by Technic pins, if I can get it off with one hand. So you can see it's like that. Now I'm not sure whether they've done that to, you know, as a building technique to actually build it, or they did it in order to be able to simulate damage and have that coming off. Or maybe it was for both, I don't know. But anyway, that's how they go on. They certainly won't come off unless you deliberately, you know, pull them off. But it is quite a solid structure, so there's not really much else that, you know, comes off here. We've lost our yellow piece, but that's okay. And yeah, as I said, nothing else really comes off. We do have some bits and pieces here. Now from memory, when I built this, I thought this might have actually been a printed piece, but I think having another look, actually yeah, I'm pretty sure that is printed. Yeah, I don't remember putting the stickers on, but then again, it was nearly 20 years ago. So that's nice. You get a couple of pieces there, and then there's also, spin it around the other way, there's also that which is actually printed. I believe it's meant to be a Scorpion, so I think maybe it was the Scorpion Squadron. I don't specifically remember from the film. And yeah, this cockpit does just come off very easily. There's no printing on it, but that's fine, and it just connects using the pieces up here at the nose. And I think this is actually deliberate, but there is just enough room to put the glass bit, even you could put it there, and it looks like it's sort of slid out. So that's kind of cool. And then you got the minifig. It doesn't actually sit very well in there. There are actually two pins that you can have, but he can't really lock them in because otherwise his arms, it's kind of too deep, the cockpit. So even, yeah, kind of have to put his arms up, and even then it's not really deep, but it's too deep for him to actually get in there properly. So it's, yeah, quite a deep cockpit, and just a printed panel on there. I don't know if that's unique. Doesn't seem to be a common one, but they've probably used it in other sets. So let's have a look at the minifigs themselves. So this is, of course, Anakin Skywalker. Back in these days, of course, in 1999, no double-sided print, and no printing on the back, no leg printing, no arm printing, no double-sided faces. Pretty simple face, actually. If I get the helmet off. So really just a couple of eyes, some freckles, some eyebrows. Pretty simple looking. And the helmet's pretty standard. I know there was a lot of these in the Johnny Thunder series. It's been used quite a lot throughout the years. And then probably I was more excited when I got this about the R2-D2 figure. I'm pretty big R2-D2 fan. And again, this was the first time that Lego did licensed sets. So to be able to have minifigs of, Anakin or R2 was pretty cool. And the printing does go all the way around. And no, it's not symmetrical. It is actually sort of unique all the way around, although printing only on one side. As you can see, you can move the arms if you want. And then you've got the headpiece. And then over here we have just a little build, little cart. Not much. It kind of annoys me when they put these sort of things in there because you don't really need them, and it just adds to the cost of the set. So there's some cool printed pieces in there. And the droids are actually really accurate looking. You get two of them. One of them's just come off there. They're very hard to stand on their own. That's why I've got them on this. But yeah, they're very accurate looking. You can see how they go together. So there's 5 pieces. So you get the legs, the body, the head, the 2 arms, and the laser. So I'll just quickly show you the box. Oops, we'll go the other way. Usually they show you alternate builds. On the back. So that's pretty cool. It's like a robot looking thing. I don't think they give you the instructions. In fact, they don't, to how to build these. But I guess you could work it out. So that's the Naboo fighter. Now just to finish off, I just wanted to briefly make a point, which is that this officially, as I said, was 179 pieces in total. Now the new Naboo fighter, well, the new as the time of this video that came out in 2015, which was a couple of years ago obviously, actually had, I believe, 442 pieces. And that's pretty common, I think, for Lego these days. The X-Wings, I think, are similar. The first one, I think, had about 250 pieces. Now they're over 700 pieces. And, I mean, Lego in general uses a lot more pieces in their sets. And that creates, better looking sets. Because it's like a photo having more pixels. You're creating things that, especially like this, that are very circular and round and curved edges using effectively square or rectangular blocks. So the more pieces you use, yes, the more accurate it looks, but the trade-off then is the sets are much bigger. And a lot of people these days measure the affordability of sets using a price per piece or a price per part ratio, which is not a bad way to look at it, but if you look at even this as an example, if it's got nearly 2.5 times the number of pieces, even if the price per part is the same, it's going to be 2.5 times the cost. And I think it is a little bit sad now that you've got to spend, $100 just to get an X-Wing or a TIE fighter or something like that. When, back in these days, I don't remember how much this cost, but it was probably like, I mean, yes, you got to allow for inflation and stuff, but it was like $30 or $40, which in today's money might be like, I don't know, $50 or $60. AUD. So I thought that was just worth mentioning, that I kind of, even though this set might look a bit old and a bit blocky, I actually think I still think it looks pretty good, to be honest, and I think there is beauty in being able to recreate or create that using less pieces or minimal pieces, because I think there is a trade-off. So I still, looking back at these old sets, still have an appreciation for them, that okay, they were able to build a Naboo fighter using less than 200 pieces. But I'm really interested what you guys think about that. I'm going to leave it on that note. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.